Time do some sketchy shit. Doo-dah, doo-dah. Hope I get away with it. Oh, da doo-dah day.
Hello, I'm Dan Hollifield. Welcome to Last Man Standing. What can I say about Stupid O'Clock tonight? Nothing. With me tonight, we got Aunt Donna and we got Dawn, and a few other people might pop in later on. We do not know yet, but things are what they are, and what it is, what it is. I'm always surrounded by beautiful women somehow.
Well, thank you.
That's why Dean Martin is my patron saint.
I just popped on for a couple minutes. I got a message that somebody wants to go to bed.
Yeah, well,
You're weenie.
I
Just
know.
like the Witzman dude.
you can always join us from the other room.
Oh, by the time I get stuff connected over there, I'll be so pissed off. I've been having connection issues over in the other room, so.
I am trying to get out of my chair and fix the Wi-Fi situation in the house because I got a brand new, highly powered Wi-Fi that does not reach the living room for some reason. Too many walls to bounce off of, I assume. So I got a 100-foot long Ethernet cable. I'm going to plug straight into the modem and run it out the window and run it along the eaves of the house and in a living room window and hook up the old Wi-Fi and use it as a repeater station. And if that don't solve the problem, I don't know what else I can do besides try and rewire the entire house with Ethernet. Or, yeah, just run cables and jacks to the living room and kitchen. And that would be a little bit difficult. I'd either have to go in the attic or in the crawl space with the Black Widow spiders. So
We just ran the cable along the floor and then up the door and over.
I would do that, but the repercussions would be unacceptable.
I think Kimber and was it Billy No Mates
Yep.
would have some reservations on that.
I'm not worried about them. I'm not worried about them at all. I'm worried about Lindsay getting upset. There's a stray cable running across the floor because when she got here, I had two cables running between the living room stereo and the stereo that was hooked up to my computer, so I could play it back and forth either way. So whatever was on the computer could show up in the living room. So when I went to the kitchen to, make a sandwich or something back when I was single, I could still hear what was going on the computer. If I had something going on the TV and I wanted to listen to it back here, I could do that. It was just a matter of flipping a couple of switches. That cable got removed real quick.
I love her.
Me too.
Well, we ran ours very close, up against the wall, and you'd think Calvin, being the way Calvin is, he would play with it, but he hasn't touched it at all.
Knock on wood.
Well, there are sections of the floor I've got to cut out and replace because of water damage from that leaky pipe a year or two ago. So I could, in theory, run it along the wall over here, out the office door, along the top of my bookshelves in the hallway, and then down to a section of floor that's got to be replaced, and underneath the new floor going in, and have the cable come up against the wall behind a bookcase where it can't be seen, but is long enough to reach the Roku TV and maybe even that old Wi-Fi router, and get all that. Hopefully, get good Wi-Fi coverage in the rest of the house. I don't know this thing. It's like some days it's absolutely flawless. I'm looking straight at the Wi-Fi router right now, the new one, and some days it's like it just don't want to do anything. And it's supposed to be one of the best ones ever made for this year. I don't know. I really don't know. But I've got that old router. There's nothing wrong with it. And if I can hook it up to my laptop and turn off the DHCP, whatever that stands for, so that it doesn't try and generate its own channels, then it'll be good to go. It'll just echo whatever this one sends out. So I watched a YouTube video on how to do that, and evidently their system's a whole lot different from my system, because all I was able to do was turn off the new one, and then I had to go back and turn it right back on again, because I hear a sudden shout from the other end of the house. Hey, I was watching that.
Gotta choose your times.
Yeah, well, I'd have to do it while she was at church, or at the food bank, at doing the food bank thing at the church, or whether it's so seldom that she's out of the house and I'm not driving her wherever she needs to go. She'll run around this county and to one grocery store in the next county, but that's the end of her comfort zone because of that stupid kid that rear-ended us in 2007. She spent 10 years she would not drive.
I can understand that. I had an aunt who was in a bad car accident when she was like 25 or 26, and she never drove again.
But last night we went out to dinner and we went through the intersection that we were rear-ended in a year ago. No major issues, but every time I'm on that intersection, I I freak out. Heck, Donna, I was with Donna and Carl, and I kind of went into like, and it's like.
Every time I come home from work or come home from the grocery store, I have to make that same left turn where the kid hit us. And I got my eyes glued to the rear mirror while I'm waiting on oncoming traffic. And if anybody looks like they're not going to get in that right-hand passing lane that the county thoughtfully installed, I'm just going to gun it and take off down the road to where I can turn around and make a right turn to get on my road. I do not have that long left to have to worry about that, but still there's always having to go to town for groceries or go to a department store or something like that, because there's no such thing in this county. They don't allow businesses in this county, just make mansions so that they can raise property tax every year.
So Donna, did you see I tried to get you some mistletoe? I tried.
I know. I'm going to have to check around the stores. Maybe they've got some this year, but there's been a lot of years that they have not had mistletoe to sell around here. I don't know why.
And I tried to get you some.
If I can find a bunch in a low enough branch for me to reach with the ladder I've got and not have to be climbing trees.
Don't be hurting yourself.
Well, that's the main thing I'm worried about.
That I would worry about that too.
Dan, do you really think I'd put you at risk, or do you know that I'm just teasing you a little bit?
I know exactly what both of you are up to.
Gotta give us credit, right?
I didn't say it wasn't working. Oh, Capstar. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, Lindsay comes out and he's laying there on the ground. Why are you laying there? I was just trying to get some mistletoe for your girlfriends.
Ladder. I used it. Donna and Dawn tricked me into going up the ladder. What the hell? You shouldn't be doing that. She's not going to blame us. She's still going to blame you.
Yeah. Of course. I was stupid enough to get hurt.
Right.
It's entirely my fault. No, I've still got to get the ladder out. There are 2 storm windows I need to put up, and that cannot be done from the ground. Those windows I have to be on a ladder to do it. Have to take the old ones out, put the new ones in. Won't take half an hour apiece. And I've got a radio antenna for my new stereo I would like to put up on the roof, because that would be much better. It's not going to pick up very well in the house because it's a brick house, and it's got those old-fashioned metal reinforcement grates in between the layers of brick. So this place is like a Faraday cage. You don't get a Wi-Fi signal inside and out. It's either inside or it's outside. And the same thing happens with AM and FM radio. Ooh. Boy, if I ever film myself doing some of the home handyman stuff that I've been doing, YouTube wouldn't show it because industrial language would be involved.
OSHA would be there too, wouldn't they?
I was going to say it'd be like a real life tool time.
Pretty much, without that much horsepower, but yeah.
That's because you have enough power on your own, Dan.
And actually, my little brother's email address is Toolman, because he was a fan of Tim the Toolman. So. Oh yeah. Oh Lord.
I don't want to cut it short tonight, but I am gonna head to bed. So, I still have things I have to do before I can get there.
You're going to leave me alone with Donna? I thought you were concerned about my safety.
Nah, I'm not worried about you two being alone together in front of everybody. Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh,
You really think an audience would stop me?
No, that's why I kind of said that. Kind of that look.
welcome to Only Dan's. Oh, Lord. On that note, I got to have another beer.
Before you go, Don, see if I can show you my shirt.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, is that a photograph of one of yours, or is it just a?
It's a thing that my mother found because I've always had Siamese. They're great for people who are allergic to cats. But she found this and put it on a T-shirt for me. This thing, I've had this thing since like high school, and it says, "Love is like cats. It goes where it pleases, and it pleases where it goes."
Oh,
That's no lie detected. That's pretty accurate. Why is there a leaf on my desk? Oh, I see why there's a leaf on my desk. I either tracked it down on the bottom of my shoes, or the dog tracked it down on the bottom of its paws. And we have Chris here.
Hello.
He didn't think I was going to notice him.
wait, the leaf was on your desk?
I had picked it up off the floor and put it on my desk to put it into the trash.
I was wondering how the leaf ended up on your desk if you tracked it in with your shoe.
When you picked it up, why not just put it directly into the trash?
The green screen was in the way.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yep. Excuse me. Yeah, that's one of the things I'm going to have to do when I am on vacation in January, right before I retire. I've got to take all the curtain rails and everything down, and the bookshelf they're fastened to for the green screen. Got to take all that stuff down and redo that bookshelf because it's starting to sag a little bit. Because
Things
the
start
L
saying after time.
the L brackets that I used to put it up were not the strongest in the world. Well, now I've got the strongest in the world, and gonna have to redo the whole shelf. But
Things
that's
get
okay.
saggy
I've already
if you
got
don't
the
have right
wood.
brackets.
I've already got the wood. I've already got the brackets. I know where all the studs are in the wall, and I have a stud finder. 2 or 3 actually. Really weird about those things.
Asking for the link in the stream. I'll let that up to you, Dan, how you want to proceed.
Okay.
I'd say he's probably the only one of us that's connected with Kath anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know if he's on my friends list or not. I can look him up. See if he's on my messenger. We shall see.
So
Yeah.
if I leave, that's going to be Donna with Dan and Chris and Cappy. Ooh, are you ready for that one, Donna?
Oh yeah. The question is Kathy ready for that?
Because we know Chris and Dan can handle it.
No, they handle it just fine.
I've got
I like how Dan
I've got several suggestions for a cap star, but 362. Okay.
Oh, is Zach still around? Zach could give him the link.
Yeah, because Zach. Yeah. If Zach would appear magically.
Zach.
No results found. Sorry. You'd have to friend me on Facebook or Messenger. So I am not on Zach's Discord, so turning on Discord would not do me any good whatsoever. I'll go right ahead, and I will go ahead and pull up.
Keep a watch out.
Oh! I almost screwed up there.
Did you
Forgot to
almost hit
open up.
Leave Studio?
I forgot to open another tab before I clicked Facebook, and it goes, "Are you sure you want to leave the channel? You got a broadcast going, son."
Oh.
Yep.
Oops.
Does that mean that we would be left alone with Chris, Aunt Donna?
They're not complaining.
No, not complaining at all. Just remembering.
The cult of Chris.
Yep.
Look for
Come on,
Dan.
there's only 3 in the United States, man. I've Googled myself. Thank God somebody finally took down my phone.
What? There what? What? Wait, what?
Hey, Cap, if you can't find him, look for me, Chris Walker.
Look, we're all sitting. I gotta go, otherwise, you know.
All right.
I'll be
Okay.
up all night.
I'm not saying a thing.
These two are just so distracted tonight. These two over here.
Oh my God, Lindsay.
What?
What?
Lindsay put a link on my timeline on Facebook. She told me she did, and this is the first chance I've been able to look it up. And it's because I was watching the Doctor Who today. So,
Cap, I'll give you another hint. Enter Chatsworth, Georgia. That'll narrow it down real quick. Okay, I can do that.
okay. Thank you, Chris.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I can see.
Okay.
I can see. Oh, there we go. Glenn B. Fleming.
Hey, Glenn.
Oh, hi, Glenn, and
Okay.
thank you.
Bye, bye. Good night. Love you all. Mwah.
Mwah.
Good night. Yeah, and now that I've had a chance to think about it, I can understand why there are lots of Dan Hollifields on Facebook, because
Cap, do you have
that's
a 9/11 profile picture?
the other 2 branches of the family that immigrated in 1700. They spread out all over the United States, and Dan is one of the traditional family names. It comes all the way
Just
from
sent you a friend request.
England before the 1700s.
What are you too late for, Glenn?
Missed your birthday by a day or
week?
so. A week? Oh,
Last Tuesday. I don't care. It's my birthday every day of the year because I'm special.
Okay, bear with me. I'll send you a link in just a second.
Oh no, Don just had to leave the bedroom so her SO could go to bed.
yep. No, we're not ending the show. We just barely have it started. We've only been on for like 24 minutes. We got at least another 90 to go. And what are you doing up so late? You're in England, dude.
Up early.
It's 6 o'clock in the morning over there. That explains it. Speaking of up early, Mike Jimmy, his alarm clock might be going off soon. If he's not taking loose to the hospital to have the baby.
Oh no, they've already had it.
They've already had the baby?
Aurora,
Oh,
Yep.
well, the 27th. Aurora, it was cesarean due to complications. I told them they should have waited one more day, but hey,
a little girl. Oh, thank you. I was just about to ask.
yes, her name is Aurora.
Yep.
That's right. I do. I remember seeing the post now. Oh, what is happening to my mind? Oh yeah, I've started writing again. It's full of aliens.
No comment.
Uh,
Okay, he's
well,
got the link now.
okay.
Okay,
I need it to be full of fantasy quest characters because that's the book I need to finish next.
I can give you some. Not that kind of fantasies. Never mind.
No, no, not that kind. No. There we go. We
There
got it
you
going.
go.
I changed my caption too.
Okay. Dark digital abyss of randomness.
Well, I mean, by trade, I am an IT engineer, so I do
Okay.
cybersecurity research as well. So I'm typically floundering down there in the dark digital abyss.
It's a good thing that
We need people to deal with the evildoers there.
Yeah, and I'll get StreamYard. I'm waiting on the code and the email from them. So
yeah. If Richie was here, y'all could have your own little channel where you could talk IT all day and all night.
Yep.
sometimes I try to avoid that because, for me specifically, I am a hardware engineer. And I just about a year ago, I just got my electromechanical engineering bachelor's degree for low voltage autonomous systems. So
Congratulations.
there it is. Code.
There was a time when I was the default IT guy for night shift at the factory. Whenever anything went wrong with any of the 486 computers we were running, they would send somebody up to do my job and have me come and run scan disk and defrag on their computer
God,
because
scan
they
disk.
couldn't figure out how to do that. There wasn't any other options back then. I mean,
Yeah,
and it
remember,
fixed everything.
do you remember the total flop of scan disk when Windows Millennium Edition came out?
I never experienced that. I stayed on.
Vista.
No,
No, ME was before Vista. It was before XP even.
yeah, I stayed on Windows 95 until
Millennia
XP came
Edition
out.
is the reason why 98 got the 98 SE second edition.
Hmm.
They tried to stick a Windows 2K kernel into a Windows 98 shell GUI, and it was a total disaster. The reason why I said scan disk with Millennia Edition is anytime your computer was improperly shut down, like if you had a power failure or some random crash, the next time your computer rebooted, scan disk would launch. Well, the problem with that is scan disk, anytime a file was changed, scan disk would reset back to square one. So it would sit there and run a little bit, and then Windows would change a file that it was trying to scan, and it would reset. This cycle would go on for hours. You had no choice but to shift F10 or task manager or something and literally force kill scan disk, or you could not use your computer.
Yep, this was long before that. This was long before that. So,
Yeah, my first days were MS DOS 322.
yeah,
Oh, may I tell my favorite IT story?
sure.
By all means.
We are all old enough to remember when you turned on your computer, went for a drive, came back, and it would finally be on, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had this friend who was a IT in England, and he got a call. The guy says, my computer whistles when I turn it on. And my friend Tim was like, I can't help you over the phone. I'm going to have to come over when you start up your business and see what happens. So he meets him at the door of the business, and they go in. The guy flips on the computer, and while he's waiting for that, he puts the kettle on because they're British, of course. Got to have your tea. And just about the time the computer came on, the tea kettle went off, and Tim says, "I think I see your problem."
Now, if you turned your computer on then and you heard a mechanical screeching sound, then you have a real problem.
Either that, or you've got your dial-up set to
To automatically go off.
Oh
really.
my God! Speaking of dial-up, oh Lord, we had one phone line in the house forever,
Oh yeah.
and I swear to God, like our first internet-enabled computer was a 14.4 kbaud, and that was when Prodigy came about. One of the first wide-scale, one of the first wide-scale internet ISPs was Prodigy and CompuServe.
I haven't heard Prodigy in years.
Yeah.
Hey,
CompuServe,
do you remember when Prodigy had that deal with Kroger's where you could dial up your computer, log into Kroger's, literally create a grocery list, and then a few hours later you could drive to your local Kroger's and it'd all be bagged up with your last name on it? Do you remember those days?
I heard about it. I didn't actually do anything.
My father was
We didn't have a
on-
Kroger in town, so
My dad was all over that. We used to just go in there. As soon as they see my dad come to that door, "Oh, hi, Mr. Mikoski. There's your order right there." We were like one of the only few people that actually did that stuff. So it was pretty synonymous. We'd go in there and they'd be like, "Oh, there you go."
oh, that would have been fantastic.
Oh, Lindsay does that now. They've started a. You can either have it delivered.
Yeah, that Instacart stuff.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's Kroger. It's
Kroger's app. You can do pickup or
It's
you
called
can
Boost.
do delivery.
Yeah, I heard about that Boost thing. Yeah.
The pickup's fine. The delivery's fine. When they first started it, you got the best of whatever was on the shelf, especially with the vegetables. I mean, they were really, really picky with the vegetables. They were really, really careful with the eggs and everything. And then once it got rolling, and a lot of people started using it, no, don't ever order vegetables. I will go and pick them out myself. I grew up on a farm. I know how to squeeze a tomato and find out whether or not it's ripe.
Yeah, I got a program that takes care of the grocery shopping. It's called Carl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Daddy, I need Takis and ginger ale.
Well, we used to go out, have breakfast at Burger King, and then go grocery shopping. Of course, that meant if he had to wait for me to wake up, that meant about 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. Then the plague hit, and he's like, "You can't go out. I have medical issues. I'll go do it," which meant he gets to go do it at like 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm still freaking in bed. Now he's lucky though, because when I was shopping, I hate to shop. So I have everything down, the things that I like, written down with the aisle number on it. So that when I went shopping, I'd go to these aisles, and that's it. And I haven't been numerical order from the back of the store forward. So when I make out the grocery list, I do that for him. Because he just doesn't really like to spend any more time than he has to. But one day there were two guys in there going, "I don't know where the hell to find this. Do you know what?" "No, I don't." And Carl says he walks by and says, "My wife's got the aisle number of everything I need. Oh, this is the aisle I need." I'm like, "Yeah, it's a wonder you didn't get taken out, weenie boy."
Oh, yeah. Whenever our local grocery store, well, I say local, the one that we go to the most often, whenever they rearrange the shelves and everything, I go in and I go, Okay, challenge accepted. I'll walk the entire store while I'm shopping, and
Mhm.
I will itemize every place in the store where it's something that Lindsay would be.
Mhm.
And when she makes out her list, I go, okay, that's over in makeup, that's in dairy, that's on one of those weird shelves in the middle of the store that has you don't know what kind of a category it is, but that's where it is. Um, phew. and once I get everything mapped out in my head, I can go in with a list, bang, 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 just down one aisle and to the cash register. Basically, get everything we need. But it takes me a while to get the mental map working once they rearrange everything again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's a
Mhm.
Dollar General right at the front of my neighborhood. We literally share the entrance with them, and they just did a total store overhaul. Yeah, that was my head for about a week.
Hmm.
Fortunately, Maya doesn't do more than moving one item from one aisle to another every once in a while. So he might
Yeah.
come home and say, "There's a notation on that." He'll give me my list back. There's a notation on that. This was in this aisle now. I was like, okay, so I change it on my chart.
Yeah. Actually, you know, Home Improvement's now on Disney Plus now, right? You guys were talking when I was trying to get the link to get back in here. You guys were talking about Tool Time and everything.
Mhm.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah, yeah.
The entire series is on Disney Plus now.
I can get it for free on is it MeTV?
Yeah.
Oh, MeWe,
Me or We or
MeWe.
Pop. Maybe it was Pop. One of those rerun channels.
Yeah. Well, like if you do the free channels, you know, you run the risk of ads and
Mhm.
everything. If you do Disney Plus, because T-Mobile pays for my Disney Plus and my Hulu and my Netflix, they're running all sorts of deals right now. I literally have the triple play program for Disney, Hulu, and ESPN. I have Netflix, I have Apple TV, and I have Paraplus all through T-Mobile. They're paying it.
Hmm.
Wow. All
And then with
right,
my
Donna,
Disney,
enjoy the beard because it's probably going after today.
Oh,
no,
I was hoping maybe you'd grow it a little more.
This is probably as much as it's going to grow. It didn't get much.
He's been scratching at his face. It's irritating him. I can tell.
Um, it
And
doesn't get
I
thicker.
never got a chance to run my fingers through it.
Sorry. Oh well.
Just imagine
Yeah.
how impressive it would be next Hallowcon, though, if he
That's what
kept
I
on.
was just thinking.
Yes, I know. I
it
can
took
read your mind like a
There's no way
magazine.
I'll survive the summer with it.
Oh
it took
yeah,
me 5 years to get this.
It took when Carl decided to grow his beard. It took him 3 days to have a full beard.
Now I've always had the burns and the stash, but when I
Mhm.
really started to massage out and get this going, because I was definitely going for the ZZ Top look, and that just came out perfectly with the salt and pepper. It took me 5 years to get this.
I have to trim mine about every month and a half. Otherwise, it would be just about as long as Carl's.
Hey,
Yeah,
Chris, do you ever
Yeah.
go up towards Dan's area?
Uh,
Um.
I'm actually south of him.
Yeah. I live near Dalton. That's
Oh, okay.
nearest.
Well, close enough. If
Mhm.
you go over to the Sevierville, Tennessee exit, you know that flea market they have sitting over there on the Sevierville exit off of 40?
I think so.
There's a guy in there, and you cannot mistake him. I mean, he's got a literal down to his sternum Santa beard.
Okay.
Go talk to that guy about the stimulating oils he has, because I used his on the final year for this, and I mean, it went from here to here in a year.
Wow.
Go check that guy out up there at the Sevierville Flea Market. It's literally right off the exit.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry about the mistaken impression I gave you there. I grew up near Knoxville, but I'm now down near Athens, Georgia.
Oh, you're not far from me. I'm in Oakwood,
Okay.
Gainesville. Yeah, Gainesville.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Oakwood's just 8 miles. Oh, wait a minute. Wrong
Mhm.
Wrong
state.
one.
Wrong state.
Interestingly enough, there is a Oakwood Cafe in Dalton.
I heard about that. I want to
Yep.
come up there and try that. I was actually up there last year. We bought a '99 Jeep
Mhm.
Cherokee from a guy. Literally $2,000 for a Jeep that had over $8,000 in parts in it. He's like, I just
Wow.
want it gone. It's like, okay.
Do you like big greasy hamburgers?
Do I have to stand up and show you my beer gut?
There is a place in Dalton.
Literally from eating half and 2/3 pound burgers.
There is a place in Dalton called Willie's Famous Burger and Fries.
Been there.
Check
Been
that
there.
out.
I've been there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Matter of fact, the last time I was there was I had to go up to Dalton to get a special order roll of carpet for my mom.
yep.
Mm-hmm.
We're a good place for that because at one point in time, 80% of the world's carpet was either made in the area or went through Dalton.
Okay, so Dalton is the carpet capital of the world. Do you know what Gainesville is famous for?
Chickens, poultry.
Yep, the poultry production capital of the world per capita.
Yeah.
We literally have 13 major poultry factories here in Gainesville.
Yep.
Tyson, Purdue, they all have factories here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Coach Foods,
And
probably.
God forbid you get behind one of their trucks. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, somebody got into an accident with one about a month ago. It was nothing but chicken turds, chicken bodies, and eggs everywhere all over the road. I was like, oh, the God, I bet you that stunk to all high hell.
Yeah.
I actually live far enough out in the sticks where they're having chicken houses is a major industry around here.
Mhm.
Yeah, a lot of those chickens come here to Gainesville.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah.
Yeah, they come out. They that accident was on 129 Athens Highway.
Yeah. Well, it's the one going from Athens to Jefferson and points further.
And then Jefferson right into Gainesville on 129. It was right there, 129 at 985 is where that accident happened. It was on the bridge.
Oh, wow.
My dad and I used to make deals with some of the people that had chicken houses that the families had aged up a bit and were no longer, but the chicken houses were still there.
Mm-hmm.
So there was like the last 5 years worth of manure and sawdust inside. So Dad and I would just drive the pickup truck in there and get the big old scoops out and fill up the truck and take it to one of the fields and free fertilizer. I mean, there was a lot of weed seed mixed in with whatever it was they were feeding the chickens, but you can take care of that if you are careful with the application of several weed killers. You would be amazed at how well you grow soybeans on a field that you put chicken manure in.
You grow a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they grow.
Yeah.
That is some of the most fertile fertilizer you will have.
That Cargill plant that's right there in Gainesville, they do a lot of that right out of your area.
Yeah.
Tell you what, when that Cargill factory's up and going, you cross over E.E. Butler. Ooh.
Oh
That
God!
flax and oil seed smell. Oh my God! They actually had to go install new vents with. They basically the top of the storage tanks now. They have these massive air recyclers that are going all the way down to the ground now, and they've got some new ventilation system they had to put in.
I think it's called a scrubber.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah. But
yeah.
they're just now
Um,
finishing that. They've had cranes out there for the last 3 months.
Oh God, when the neighbors where I work spread chicken manure along their property, God, the stench is so bad.
Hey, just
yeah,
shoot a
but
flare over there to see if we catch some of that methane.
I'd just rather a rain come and kind of
Be
wash it
like an
into
oil rig.
the
Be like an
soil.
oil rig guy, popping off the gas flare.
mm,
There goes the fertilizer. It's all cooked off now.
yeah.
Oh,
Well,
Better yet, if you got a 12 gauge, I can give you some dragon's breath rounds to do that with. Dude, I love those shells.
mm,
Have you seen the videos of those?
Yeah.
yeah, I got a Remington 870, but I don't want to be tempted.
Oh, well, okay. So you have an 870. I have my father's 870 MCS, the full
Mhm.
pistol gripped,
Mm-hmm.
and then I've got a Benelli 1014, the military M4
Yeah.
shotgun. That's I mean, I got the 2 rifles right here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna pick them up, but
Yeah.
over here in the garage, I have a whole section of the wall that's like a 8-foot walk-in style.
Oop, I heard a ping. It's Mr. Bachman.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Joe again. What's up?
Howdy. Oh.
Did things calm down a little bit?
Oh, no, not really. Contractor's still an idiot.
Well, you know that's never going to change.
I got a friend up in Ohio that does road work. Well, he taught me some things I never knew.
I can tell you a few new words too.
I'm actually thinking about doing a career flip from IT to heavy machinery. I don't know yet.
See, that's funny because I went from construction inspection to IT back to construction inspection.
I mean, I already have unofficial experience with track hose, so as simple as they are, you just got to do the certification and safety courses. I already know the basic function of the joysticks and the pedals and the engine control. So I'm thinking about taking up heavy equipment.
No, we're due for some heavy rain here in a little bit,
Mm.
and I just
It's not
talked
the same rain I had earlier on Friday, is it?
Where are you at?
North Georgia, Gainesville.
Oh no. So
I'm
Northwest Indiana.
Oh, okay.
I'm a
Yeah,
stone's throw from
the rain
Chicago.
he's expecting we'll get later.
Let's see what storm that is.
On the other hand, I'll be getting his rain.
No,
Yeah.
what I had Friday is now up in Washington, D.C. I see what storm you're talking about. It's in Chicago right now.
Yep. No, I was just talking to the contractor, and we can wait it out. No, we can't. I am not sitting on the side of this interstate during a downpour with nothing but barrels between me and traffic.
I hate going down 75 to Florida. Oh my God.
Oh,
30
yeah.
miles of barrels. I can't stand it when they do that.
My preferred route that bypasses Atlanta between here and Dalton and here Chattanooga is I-20. And a couple of years ago, it was nothing but construction.
Which part of 20, east or west?
Going to Dalton or Chattanooga, it would be west.
So you were on the east side of 20. So that was that major overhaul of the 285 ramps, wasn't it?
Well, the thing is that the reason we take 20 is to avoid having to be on 285 for any reason whatsoever.
Oh, so you go 20 into the city and then jump over onto 75.
No, we go 20 through a bunch of little bitty podunk towns in order to avoid 285. We go from 85 to 20, then follow it till it hits 75 north of Atlanta.
Shit.
somewhere around Canton, and then on up.
Wait a minute. 85 to 20.
Yeah,
85
85
20
south.
to 75.
Yeah,
Where 20 meets 85 and 75, that's literally Midtown Atlanta. They're all right there.
no. We get on 20 from 85 going off to
He's talking about Georgia Highway 20,
yeah.
not
Yeah.
I-20.
I'm about to say, like, wait a minute.
No,
Yeah, he's talking about
it's
Georgia 20.
20. Yeah,
Georgia 20, yeah, because that's not too far from me as well.
Yep, and that no matter how bad the traffic is or how slow it gets, it's still better than risking my life on 285 or my wife's life on 285.
Doesn't 20 come out there at Canton where the Buc-ee's is now?
Yep, sure does.
When I bought that Jeep, we stopped at Buc-ee's.
Well, Buc-ee's is actually South Calhoun.
That's right, it is Calhoun, yep. But it's right there in that area.
Yeah, it's Union Grove Road. It's exit. It's
Hey,
exit 310. It's right below the main Calhoun exit of 53.
Dan, did you hear that they've officially listed the Sevierville Buc-ee's as the largest in the nation now?
No, I haven't. I did not hear that.
It is
it's
the
gonna be
largest Buc-ee's. And
They're going to build a bigger one in Texas, though.
Well, I mean,
Of course.
the biggest one should have already been in Texas because that's where Buc-ee's is from. Why would you build it in a whole other state to be the biggest one, only to outdo yourself and bring it back? I really wish they would put a Buc-ee's on our side, like up there at like Commerce or something.
Oh yeah, that would be nice.
That'd be awesome.
Put one in Banks Crossing. Because that's where we get on 85. We roll right through Banks Crossing.
Banks Crossing. I'm mad at myself too. I was supposed to go to Summer Nationals right before they closed the drag strip.
Oh.
Yeah, land's getting too valuable.
Yeah, it's too valuable for all these warehouses that are a million square feet for Amazon and everybody to buy up.
Well, they got plenty of money to buy it up. More than they're making at the drag events.
And then now I hear there's a plot of land out there in Jackson County, right by Athens, that the Norton Realty Group is got just listed up. And I can't wrap this around my head. The advertisement showed up on my Facebook as a sponsored ad. I don't even know why it popped up. I don't have any dealings with Norton at all. But it's literally an ad for like 100, maybe 270 acres of this plot of land in Jackson. And it's currently unowned. But there's a hunting group that literally runs all through that property. Norton says they'll be willing to negotiate with whoever develops that land to keep the hunting group in mutual agreement with the plot of land. And I'm like, if you develop it, how are you going to mutually have a hunting group next to this developed or integrated with this developed land now? Like,
I don't know.
The hunter group is either stupid or they're blowing a lot of smoke up their tailpipe.
A buddy of mine commented on that post though. When I asked him, I said, "How exactly do you plan on negotiating, integrating a hunting group into whoever buys this plot of land and develops it into either a neighborhood or something like that? Just how do you plan on negotiating?" They never answered me. Well, my buddy got involved, and he's 23-year law enforcement. He literally said, he tagged Norton's group, and he's like, this guy makes a point. I've got 23 years of law enforcement behind me. I would like to know, how are you going to integrate that?
Hey, Emily.
They literally responded to him, "Oh, are you interested in the land?" Like, they didn't even want to have that conversation. Walter's like, no. This is an open question. I'm asking you with general conversation, just how exactly do you plan to moderate a negotiation of turning undeveloped land that's currently occupied by a hunting group into developed land and integrating the hunters with it? They still haven't answered him.
Of course
What they're doing is planning on screwing the hunters over.
Well, Walter was like Walter's kind of loaded. He's got the 23-year law enforcement pension. He currently works at DHS down at the airport in their cyber division, and I do all his IT work. He had a house built out there in Bremen, and I did all the IT work for him. He loves me. He literally told Norton, I said, if I had the funds, I would buy that land right off of you right now and give the hunters the deed, and there'd be nothing you could say.
Wow.
And that would be the way to do it too.
Yeah, but the price, I found the price. It's like a $14 million chunk of land.
Yeah.
Walter's like, yeah, I can't touch
really
that.
Good acreage. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
it's like 100. It's like 170 to 250 acres.
In North Metro Atlanta.
It's southeast of Athens, out there in Jackson County.
Yeah, that would go for pretty high price.
Yeah.
Especially.
Yeah, I mean, it's practically my backyard.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now
anybody want to do these hunters a favor? Let's get a pool going.
You've really. Let's teach Elon to hunt deer in Georgia.
I would love to meet Elon.
That's the day pigs fly, when Elon's able to hunt a deer in Georgia. That's the day pigs fucking fly.
The man owns a Barrett.
That doesn't mean he knows how to fucking use it.
He knows how to use it. Did you see the video of him?
No.
With the Barrett? He knows how to use that thing. I own a Barrett, and I watched that video. I was like, oh yeah, he knows. And he actually he fired it standing up and did not fall over. He knows.
Did the kickback not get him or anything, or did it?
No, he knows how to lean into a high power rifle. He's literally just sitting there going, bah, bah, bah. And it's a 50. I mean, it's nearly a 6 foot long rifle. I have one. It stands to here on me.
Yep.
But he definitely knows what he's doing with it.
I mean, it's got more kick than a 300 Magnum. If you've ever seen a 300 Magnum being fired.
I believe a friend of mine from work, no longer with us. He was a great one for target shooting, and I was always getting invited out to his place to target shoot. And I believe he let me shoot a 300 Magnum one time, and I go, that's got a little bit more kick than Daddy's 16.
Wait a minute, 300 Magnum or 300 Blackout?
300 Magnum.
Okay, yeah, 300 Mag, yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't exactly going to put a bruise on my shoulder because my daddy was fond of playing pranks on me when I was little, and he'd put a 16 gauge shell in there that looked like it was like 3/4 brass, and have me shoot it.
Dislocated your shoulder.
No, I learned how to not dislocate my shoulder.
Hey, Chris, falling back on that 870, that was my father's. That was the first weapon I ever fired, and I was only 6. And he put 3-inch Magnum rounds into that thing, and then he just end butted me and said, "All right, just plant it in your shoulder. I'm gonna be right behind you. Just rack and squeeze."
There was a well, as far as
I hated him that day.
Yeah. There's a shooting range at Johns Mountain, which is north.
I know where that is. Yeah.
There was a guy that was there. He used to be a regular at the Marietta Shooting Club.
Mm-hmm.
He was talking about they had an 870 there. He said there's no telling how many thousands upon thousands of rounds that thing had. He said that was
Swab that barrel.
He said that thing was basically indestructible. Of course, they took care of it because it was the ranges.
Yeah.
But he said those things are about indestructible if you take care of them.
Yeah, I mean, swab the barrel, keep the action clear, and keep grease on the slide. Yeah.
Okay. I have 2 shooting stories that you're going to love, Cappy.
Okay.
I'm an old farm girl.
Oh!
Yep. Daddy taught me how to shoot a shotgun. Rose taught me how to shoot a 22. I'm about 15 years old and I'm homesick. Just
Okay.
sicker than a dog. My folks are at work and I look out the window and the cow that is to be our yearly beef cow is out and headed for Illinois State 1, which is where we lived.
Okay.
So I had to go out, and if one person cannot herd a cow, it takes at least 6 people to herd one fucking cow.
Mm-hmm.
So I finally got it back from the road, and I'm hurting. It's standing underneath these 2 apple trees, eating carrots out of Mom's garden. And I remember something that my Uncle Chet said.
Okay.
And I got the shotgun out, took a stance, and boom! And the cow looked at me, walked right down the fence and into the open gate. And I'm like, oh.
I bet you fired birdshot at it, didn't you?
Yeah.
Or was it a blank?
No.
Because buckshot would have had that cow bucking.
You're getting ahead of me. I run down, shut the gate, make sure it's wired shut. She'd gone up to the end of the lot by the house, and I'm walking by, and I look underneath those 2 cherry trees, and there's this white, used to be a chicken house. Now it's used for her to get in and out of the rain, and I look, there's an outline of a cow on the side of this wall.
Just reminds me of Twister. Cow.
And I'm like, oh crap, I'm gonna die. And I go look at the cow, and there's these little beads of red in her butt and around, and like, oh, and she's just sitting there. But Uncle Chet always said, if you need a cow to go in, shoot them with buckshot, and they'll walk right in. And it's true, it happened. And I had supper waiting when the folks got home. And I told Dad what happened, and he started to get mad, and my mom said, nope, she does not get punished. It was your uncle who told her that. She's not getting punished. Well, as Mr. Harvey used to say, the rest of the story.
I miss Paul Harvey. I used to listen to him all the time.
We were eating a roast that winter. All of a sudden, Dad goes, well, we know we got our cow meat back.
Jesus Christ. Oh, y'all lucky you didn't catch any poisoning out of that.
Oh, it was good eating. Fast forward about 4 years. I'm 20, my first fiance. He comes out and he's got this brand new 30-06 shot rifle. And my oldest brother's there, so they set up a target, and they're sitting out there shooting at the target, and I'm like, I want to shoot that. Damn Greek says, no, you're dropping on the ground. I will not. I know how to shoot. And my brother said, let her shoot. She knows how to handle a rifle. So I aim it up, and I'm just about ready to pull the trigger. And my fiance says something stupid, and I make the mistake of pulling the butt of the rifle about that far away from my shoulder just before I pull the trigger. Of course, my arm goes numb, and I drop it just like he predicted.
Jesus.
I was so pissed. My brother is literally
he baited you into that
on the ground. No, he thought I'd show him how I could shoot. But he is literally on the ground, rolling, laughing so hard. I go in the house, just pissed. Wait till my arm I can feel my arm again. I go back out. I said, "Give me the damn rifle." And I take aim and I look at my fiance and said, "You just keep your mouth shut."
Right?
And I
Or you're-
fired off about 3 rounds. No, 2. I could do 2 of them, and hit bullseye both times.
Nice.
Handed it back to him. I said, "Now keep your damn rifle." Yeah, my big brother, bless his heart, said, "I told you she could shoot."
I mean, I have stuff ranging from 177 caliber BB guns from my daughter all the way up to 50. So
Yeah. I didn't care for 30-06, but I love my 308.
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm not too fond of a 30-06, but I really love my 30-30 and I really love the 308. Those
I've got
are
a
not
yeah, I've
only
got,
fun, but it's like these things are weighted perfectly.
Yeah.
I've got a because I have my FFL and SOTs. I bought a rare Bushmaster 2 ACRE from the gun place in Monroe, the trading place gun range. It would not behave in semi-automatic at all. I had gobloads of failure to eject, failure to feed, double piped, stove piped, but in 2-round bursts and full selective, ran like a charm. Actually, if you look up my name on YouTube and look for the trading place, or I'll have to give you the link. I think it's unlisted. Anyways, bought that for about $6,000 off of them. I took it home, ripped it apart. I had a glob of carbon the size of my hand out of that rifle. I cleaned it all up, threw it back together, went back over to the trading place because I lived in Conyers at the time. Went back over to the trading place and they said, "Hey, isn't that the rifle you just bought from us?" I said, "Yeah, watch this." Go in there and I had like 10 mags worth of 7.62
Oh, shit.
because it's a conversion barrel. It's one of the rare 7.62 or 5.56. You literally just drop the receiver, pull the barrel, stick 2 back in, and it goes from 5.5 to 7.6. And I just sat there, just ripping down. You're like, damn, was the thing that bad? I said, dude, I had a baseball-sized glob of carbon dust that you guys never cleaned out of it. Yeah.
I actually prefer a Beretta handgun, so much in fact that both of my heroines and both of my series carry a Beretta.
Oh, I got. Y'all ever see what a Barrett does to a deer?
Oh,
That's
there
extreme
anything left?
tenderizing.
Well, okay, so this is a good story. My uncle was in the Army for 27 years, and he was a 94 Fox. He was literally his unit's gunsmith and weapons unit armorer. So if you couldn't field strip and fix it, you took it to him. Well, he owns a gun range down there in Valdosta. If you ever go down that way, there's a massive range down there next to the junkyard. That's my uncle's place. And he knows the guy who has that huge, like, multi-thousand-acre hunting lands out south of Macon. Like down there between Perry and Macon. He knows he's literal friends with the guy who owns that plot of land. So we were out there, and it was open doe for that season. So you had the limit on bucks, but the doe population was too high, so it was literally open season on does. So we'd already gotten our tags on bucks, and we were just popping off a few extra does so he could process the meat and sell it off. So finally, we literally ran out of 300 blackout. We had 4 300 blackout rifles and about 300 rounds. Well, the biggest reason why is because we were also using the 300 blackout to splinter some small trees for firewood. We were also using the 50 for that matter, too. So the last day, my uncle dumps me up in the trees like, What? Grab the 50. So I was like, okay. And then he's trying not to talk because we had a doe about 400 yards from us. So he taps me. I pick up the thermal sight, and I'm like, I try to roll the Barrett over me in the stand because he's got this pretty custom built deer stand that spans like a bunch of trees in a total platform. So I pick up the Barrett that's between us, and I try to roll it over me without making a sound. I do that. I lay out. My uncle comes over into my ear. Windage 4, range 440. So ranging it in. I kid you not. Head and body. It was a perfect neck shot. Head and body just went splat. The head goes like 15 feet off in one direction. The body just stands there. And then you just start seeing the legs.
Oh, yeah, because
It just crumpled over.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Wow.
yeah, a 50 will literally decapitate a good-sized doe perfectly.
Wow.
But you got to hit it at the top of the neck. Don't go anywhere below the top of the neck, or then you're getting into the shoulders and everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was like the best shot I had out of anything. And I just sat there like, damn. My uncle just started laughing, but silently. And we went and recovered all our stuff. I think we hauled in about, God, I forget how much it was we hauled in. It was at least 1,500 pounds worth.
Wow.
He made a good chunk of change off of that. He actually had. Do you guys know what an NTW-20 is?
Not exactly.
Not offhand, no.
Think of a Barrett, but put it in 20 millimeter and about 1.5 feet longer.
Wow.
Oh, good Lord.
Looking this up. What's it called? MTW-20?
Yep. November Tango Whiskey -20. He has 3 of those.
Okay, yeah, you could really just lay down and just shoot whoever you want with this.
Oh no, you don't shoot people with that. You shoot tanks, trucks, planes.
Oh, yeah,
That's
the ammunition for this shit is... Yeah, okay.
20 millimeter, about 1 inch across.
Wow.
I mean, you could shoot people with it. I'm sure it goes
It wouldn't be much
yeah,
left.
but-
Technically, you
I was
could.
gonna say you wouldn't have a body to hide.
There wouldn't be a body left.
Just a cloud of mist.
So the most popular video on YouTube about the NTW-20, there's this one white car sitting downrange, and a guy's doing demonstration fires of it. One of the lead slugs he shot at the car door left a foot and a half wide hole in the door.
Wow.
Thing is I fired that when I was like, I'd say I was about 24. Never again. Even with all the recoil mitigation that rifle have, Emily, you see the bulge in the middle of the barrel?
Yeah,
That's actually a hydraulic buffer.
because that looks like the ones on the tanks, like, with Tiger.
Well,
and
no.
stuff.
That's actually a bore evacuator. It generates air to blow out the barrel. On the NTW-20, that's actually a hydraulic buffer.
Wow.
Even with all that, I laid down and I fired that thing. It pushed me back about a good 4 inches. My whole body just shot back about 4 inches with that rifle. I was like,
Yeah, the size of that ammunition literally is like it's about the size of like more than half the scope. On
20
it.
millimeter round is about the size of this lint roller,
Yeah.
casing and all.
Joe must
Yeah.
had to go yell at the
That's the
Contractor
contractor again.
again.
No, I'm getting ready to look something up.
Oh, okay.
As I'm trying to read the screen, I figured you guys didn't want to see this.
Yes, close up of the mug.
Make sure to get all those nostril hairs in there.
Oh,
Oh, that reminds me. I need to talk to Joe about the indiecd.org site.
Yeah. I imagine he's going to
yes.
get a lot of subscribers before the month's over with.
Well, the problem is Carl paid for both of us.
Mm-hmm.
I can't log on to it.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Okay, Carl never told me that you guys wanted access to the blog and the calendar, so I'll get an account set up for you.
Well, thank you, sweetie.
503, access denied.
Mhm.
oh, Emily, you were doing your hair last night? It looks wonderful.
It looks very good, yes.
Well, yeah, I wanted it to. The green turned out nice, and where I darkened it turned good too. I just had to retouch. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Apparently, you're a kick-ass colorist, too.
Cosmetologist and colorist as well.
Yeah, both.
Both. Yes, I'll take it.
What little hair I have left on my head, I would love to do one day for a cosplay party in UV blue.
I was gonna say that, or the beard and extensions on the beard would be fun. Doing like the long Valhalla.
Well, I like my. Literally, this is all natural, and I was going for the ZZ Top look, and it came out as perfect as it could be.
I love that. Sharp edge man.
Carl could rock the ZZ Top look, but every time it gets down to where it catches any zipper, he trims it off.
Hey, I can understand that.
Yep.
And I haven't said anything about it, so.
Well, next Halloween, I'm supposed to be going to this nice cosplay party. I'm going to put on my usual Halloween outfit, which is Marine Corps Tiger Stripes. Mm-hmm. And this HK 416 behind me, I'll keep it unloaded. And usually that's what I do is I do a Force Recon Scout Sniper or Scout Observer. And dude, the kids love it. My daughter loves it. The nieces love it. Everywhere we go, nobody's going to sit there and try some dude in a full face mask, boonie hat, tiger stripe uniform with a damn freaking. I'd grab it if I could, but I don't know if YouTube would like that or not.
Oh, I forgot we're on YouTube.
Probably not.
Yeah, that's why.
I mean,
probably not. I mean, we're not monetized, but we
Not
could
yet,
get a strike
knock on
from somebody complaining.
If we ever get monetized, it will be a shock to us all.
Yes, indeed.
Especially for this show.
I mean, you can see the barrel tip right there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
There's the barrel tip right there.
We actually had somebody claim they own the intro music for this show. I wrote it.
You gotta quit submitting copyright strikes on yourself, Dan.
I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I said, look, here's the upload date for my Bandcamp. It's clearly mine. I own the copyright. Don't come at me anymore. I still have the number of that criminal lawyer in Athens. And in Athens, if you say criminal lawyer, it's not an oxymoron, it's a repetition.
Yeah.
Hey, Andrew, stick around for the bedtime story after the show ends because it's fun.
Oh, jeez.
It's just me playing around writing a little story while the music runs.
You gotta watch it at least.
Well, that's the end of the show. Yeah, the
and now, look, like Donna was saying with Paul Harvey, and now the bedtime story.
Pretty much, yeah.
Dude, I miss Harvey. My dad was a big Rush Limbaugh nut, and literally Rush Limbaugh and Paul Harvey.
Yeah, Paul Harvey was entertaining because the story was always going to be.
It was always something intriguing. Like he would capture your attention, and even with the monotone voice of his, it was always like we'd be riding in the car, we'd be at the house, whatever it was. As soon as I heard Paul Harvey, I stopped what I was doing at teenage years, even. Like you wouldn't expect most kids nowadays to understand what he's going on about or what he's talking about, but for me, oh no, I'd be sitting there on my PlayStation, and Dad would be at the house, or we'd be in the car, and I'd be mind somewhere else looking out the window. Oh no, my head went right to that radio or PlayStation button, power, put the controller up and go sit in the living room, listen to Paul Harvey.
Mm-hmm.
What was funny is when he would get abused about a story.
Yes, oh yeah, he had that little chuckle of his.
Yeah, he was trying to control it and stifle it as much as he could, but he couldn't.
Yeah. Rip Paul Harvey.
And then he'd be like, "Good day."
Good day.
Oh,
If
man.
you can keep smiling till 10 o'clock, the rest of the day will take care of itself.
Mm.
And when I heard the origin of that story, that took on a whole new meaning.
Yeah. Well, you know, I wonder if he's sort of like Larry Munson. You know, they've got like 3 or 4 CDs of Munson's greatest calls.
Oh yeah, yeah. That would that was always entertaining. I mean, I knew people that would turn the TV on, put it on a Bulldog football game, turn the volume off, get out a radio and set it down, and have Larry Munson call the game while they're watching the TV, because they did not like the TV station's announcers, but they loved Larry Munson.
Especially Gary Daniels.
Yep, Daniels and Munson, 2 best announcers.
But Danielson sucked, but Munson was awesome.
Well, Daniels had a way that always kept me intrigued because it was just so sucky. I'd be like, really? And I'd just sit there, keep listening to him, and just laugh at it.
Well, you know, it's funny. It was either him or Blackledge that said, you know, they should have a CD of some of Larry Munson's greatest calls, and whatever. Like, there's already 3 of them out.
Oh, I think there is an one on YouTube. It's from back in the late 70s when I was at the University of Georgia, and it was the one where he either broke a metal chair or it folded up behind him, and you could hear the damn thing clatter. And it was Herschel Walker going to the end zone. And
oh yeah, it was when he ran over Bill Bates, the safety for Tennessee. And Bates had a successful career in the NFL. He played for Dallas.
While I was there, I was on one of the university buses, and Herschel Walker got on the bus. That damn thing leaned when he got on the bus. He was a big boy.
Yeah, he was about 225, 230 pounds, which was big for a running back then. And he was much sought after recruit.
Did you guys hear? Probably you did. What was his name? The one that bent his knee backwards?
Ooh.
Chubb. Chubb. Did you hear he did it again in the NFL now, and he's done permanently?
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, he literally did his knee backwards again. It wasn't as severe as the UGA game, but he did it again in the NFL. The NFL's like, you're done.
Oh man, that sucks.
I was at that game when Chubbs did the famous one. Dude, I was in that seat and I saw that. I was like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I was like, I couldn't even look at that. I was like, Oh no! I need a beer. I'll be right back.
One
And they-
of the
they
worst
carted them off
injuries
by the time.
I ever saw was there was a receiver called Mike Sherrard,
I remember that one.
and his lower leg just snapped in half, and it was dangling while he was running.
Oh boy, yeah. Now I played
Now-
baseball. I played baseball with Peachtree City Rec, and I grew up in Peachtree City, so yeah, we
Yeah.
were the rich family of the group. I was a pitcher.
Now-
I was a pitcher for most of my rec ball leagues, and I hated shotguns.
Well, Larry Munson's probably his 3 most famous calls is when Herschel Walker ran over Bill Bates in the Tennessee game his freshman
Mhm.
year. Run, Lindsey, run, which was against Florida, which got him to the SEC championship that year. And I think it was Ron Hayes when they were playing against Tennessee, and it was the infamous hobnob boot call.
My cousin is a Tennessee Vols nut. Remember that Akron U Tennessee Vols game they had earlier? Well, truth be told, my cousin and my mom were texting each other that entire game because mom is Akron U alumni. You should have seen the chat. She showed me this. You should have seen the chat log on the text messages.
Mom was talking smack to her son.
No, it wasn't to me. It was to the cousin.
Okay, to the cousin. Okay.
And eventually I said, hey, how'd that Akron U game versus Tennessee Vols go? She looked at me like, I will murder you. And then she said, here's
Obviously not well.
here's what was going. And she turned her phone around and pulled up the SMS chat log between her and Aston. She's like, this is what me and Aston were doing that entire game. And I'm sitting there looking at it. All these faces were things that mom sent to Aston. And I was like, Mom, where did you learn that phrase? Like, she is ripping him a new one 3 times over, and I swear some of the things that I even barely say, and I'm very open and vocal. I was like, where did you learn that phrase? And she's like,
Who taught
I
you
plead
that?
the fifth. She was cursing him out A to Z, 0 to 9, upside down, right side up, left, right, inverted, everything you could possibly think of. And I mean, even some of the things I was like, eventually I snuck her phone later on because I know her passcode. And I took screenshots of these phrases and I sent them to myself. I was like, I'm stealing this one. I am going to use this on somebody sometime.
I'm gonna pocket this one. That's a good burn.
I'm like, oh,
Thanks
my
for the new
God,
vocabulary, Mom.
Well, I mean, it's words that I already knew, but just the way she put them together. I was like, were you drunk that night or something? Because even I've never heard of this particular sequence of words. Fifth Amendment, shut up.
Well,
You have to be that level of pissed.
yeah.
I'll tell you what, growing up with a Marine father, I guarantee you at some point he taught her a few things.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, I work with a former Marine gunnery sergeant and sniper.
Mm. I've talked to him.
Oh, it's funny. He was kind of laughing about it earlier. One day when I was, or telling me about something earlier, he was laughing about now. He said, yeah, I kind of got him moving. I said, oh, really? I said, something suspects that there was more to this than just, he started chuckling. He said, well, the Marine gunnery sergeant and me kind of came out and naturally I got the response I wanted.
Oh, Dad had his way with that. Oh my God. God forbid I fell back asleep on a school night.
Do you remember the Warner Brothers Looney Tunes cartoon about the kid with the overactive imagination?
Oh,
Yes.
Ralph Phillips, the one that had the chalkboard, the numbers and the letters shooting at each other, and he was dreaming he was diving into a thing, and this monster grabbed him. It was the teacher and all this.
Mm-mm.
I remember.
You
Well,
have to give me some links to that one. I have to look that one up. Sounds interesting.
Anyway, at the end, she's like, "You've had a rough day. Maybe you should go home." Then he starts leaning and walking forward, and he's like doing his General MacArthur's like, "I shall return." Well, the way he's walking, that determined march there at the end reminds me of the guy that I'm telling you about. Like, determined, I'm going to kick somebody's ass if this shit don't get fixed.
Yeah. No. I fear for thou whoever crosses a marine in the wrong way.
Yeah, especially gunnery sergeant, the sniper on top of that.
Do y'all remember the YouTube video of Lee Army voiceovers with Donald Duck at the military?
No,
have y'all
but
seen
I
that
need
one?
to look that up.
That one's good. It's literally remember the Looney Tunes episode where Donald Duck enlisted in the military?
Yeah.
Well, they put the Vietnam Full Metal Jacket Vietnamese girlfriend when Donald went to go have a dinner date with Daisy. Yeah, baby. I'm not even gonna say the rest of the lines, but
Yeah, we don't want to copyright.
I was gonna say Disney is fast to get on a copyright.
Yeah.
well, I mean, if you're saying it verbally, you can't use that.
Yeah,
especially if it's in a
we
voiceover.
couldn't play the clip, but
You can quote it, yeah.
Yeah, you can quote it, is what I'm saying, but I'm not going to quote the actual words because it was that scene. Oh my god, that was so hilarious. Just look it up, Donald Duck Full Metal Jacket as the search term on YouTube. It is hilarious.
You can't be in here.
Yeah.
Oh, not you. There's a cat that pisses another cat off. and starts
What did you pick up though? Is that a compressed air can or?
No. Just like squirt bottle.
Hey, I got something that'll work for you too.
welcome back, Joe.
Howdy.
This is what I use on my cats when they do something.
Nerf gun.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I
Nerf for nothing.
I have a Nerf tennis ball thing for my dog. You load it and just boom. It's so much
That's
fun.
what it shoots.
That's airsoft. So
It's a little foam ball. It's literally just a foam ball.
Oh, foam ball? Okay, that
Yeah.
looks like airsoft.
Oh, yours is a ball?
Yeah,
Mine
they
was-
make balls too.
Mine was a little dart. Yeah,
They still have the darts, but they make the balls too.
Yeah, they saw the
Yeah.
darts. Yeah.
he found it and ate it.
Yeah, I've got them now to the point where if they do something, I literally just grab this and they look at me like, "Oh, sorry," and they run off. I don't even have to shoot it anymore.
Yeah. A spray bottle with water in it also works.
Well,
That's
see, I have
yeah.
this one right here that you see his ears. That's a Maine Coon. Maine
Yeah.
Coons don't give a shit about water. They
Yeah.
love water. Like
Mhm.
he tries to get into the shower with me.
Oh yeah, that's
Well,
our
it works on
Calvin.
most cats.
Yeah. Now the other one, the silver one back there behind Slam, he's a silver tabby. You even take a drop of water and go bing, and he's a SpaceX launched through the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, Calvin loves water too, but I found this may work for you. If you shoot his butthole with the water, he doesn't like that.
Yeah, let me put a scope on a squirt bottle and set it to stream mode.
Oh dear. I have the most interesting friends. To
Oh, do
quote
I dare
William
tell you the
Bell.
story about the day my dad caught me trying to start smoking?
Ugh.
Do you want to hear that one?
What? Or can we ask that on screen?
Smoking cigarettes at
Okay.
19. because he went to Vietnam. He was an 0311 with 2-4.
Mhm.
He came back with the cancer hole in his throat.
Hold up. Why were you smoking cigarettes at 19?
Because it's 18 legally. I was trying to be the cool kid with the other cool kids.
Okay.
So, anyways, we lived in a house that was like about 150 foot across of a ranch. My bedroom was on one complete side of the house. Living room, dining room, and all that was on the other side, and the master bedroom was on the other side of all that. I come home from hanging out with my friends, and I mean, I can ninja foot around that house, and nobody would even know. And so I quietly got in. After literally spending hours with my friends, I wasted a pack of Marlboro Reds in those 3 or 4 hours. I come in, sneak in my room, not a sound, nothing. Dad's in there watching somebody on TV on the news. And, of course, where do all us little boys put all of our little hidden secrets? In the underwear drawer. I'm literally just shoving my underwear door closed, and I kid you not, my bedroom door broke one hinge and hanging on the other just went, bah! Where are the cigarettes, boy? I was like, mind you, he's over 100 feet away from me in a complete different section of the house.
Did you have to smoke the whole carton?
Well, this is how it went on, because he knew I was hanging around friends that smoke, and I always told him I don't smoke. Of course, that was a lie, and he found out.
The
I was
dirty
like,
lies.
yeah, right. I was with Jason and Steven and all them. You know, they smoke. I don't smoke, Dad. You know, I wouldn't do that to you. He said,
"Oh, I can just imagine the whooping you got for that one."
Oh no, this gets good. He's like, it is too strong. I'm gonna ask you one more time. Where they at? Dad, I'm not smoking. All right, you stand fast right there. You hear his feet on a solid concrete foundation. Doom, 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 doom. About 30 seconds later, doom, 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 doom. Here comes his Beretta. I'm gonna ask you one more time. Where are the cigarettes? So now I'm literally in a state of panic and shock, and my hand just goes reaching for my underwear drawer. I pull out the lighter and the cigarette pack, and he's like, on my ass right now. We go out in the garage. He yanks out a 2.5 gallon gas can, and I'm literally glued to him. We go out back, out to our big old fire pit, because this is rural Fayette County at the time. He says, cigarettes, now, lighter, now. He's pointing at the fire pit. So I throw him in there. He takes his gas can, glug, 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 and then leaves. We leave about a 20-foot trail out away. He's got his own lighter at this point. About 5 minutes later, there's an ash pile just sitting over there, and a little plastic nub of what used to be the lighter and the little metal shroud around it. He walks up with his Beretta. Leaves one round in the chamber because he had the 17-round magazines. And now this barrel is hot. He turns around with his Beretta and goes, I brought you into this world. I ever catch you again, I will goddamn make sure I take you out of it. Am I clear? I'll just sit there. Yes, sir. Sorry, Dad. Now get the fuck out of my face. Go in your room and bring the PlayStation back out right now. Never touched a cigarette, a cigar, even weed again in my life, and I'm 42 now. That was a life lesson that stuck. Hot barrel right here in the bridge of my nose, literally singeing my nose. I was like, and I could see the 9mm while looking at it cross-eyed, the round up there in the back of the chamber. I was like,
that's one my mom would use. I brought you into this world and I can take you out and make a new one just like you.
Dad was not playing. Remember, Chris? I said, God forbid I went back to sleep on a school night. I did once. I had carpet burns for the rest of the day, all across my face and my front body. Literally grabs me by the ankles. Yeet! Flung me clean across the room.
Wow.
Yeah. 0600, you better be out that bed. Oh, love my dad. Rest in peace, Dad. I miss you. But, dude, that man would set me straight in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not even here with us, and you're still afraid to smoke. Oh, he really set some fear into you.
Okay, what's the one thing Marines will set the fear of God into you with?
I'm really not sure. I wasn't raised.
Violence.
Oh, I was raised by Catholicism, so it was like twisted chaos. So,
like I said, I pity thy fool who crosses a Marine the wrong way.
Yeah, I remember one person was talking about the difference between Catholicism and Episcopalian.
Oh yeah,
They said it's like Catholicism with a third less guilt.
you're not wrong though.
I'm laughing because my parents tried to put me into Catholic school. I hated it. I hated Bible school on Wednesday. I hated Bible school on Sunday. I would find every excuse to try to find my way and run off from the church when they dropped me off. But they either paid the church to keep a tab on me, because if I even left and walked out into the parking lot, they were running out there like, get back in here. But you know, it's the funny thing about it is they forced me into it so much that it pushed me away from religion. And but as I grew older, as I grew older, and then the passing of my father was really what brought me back. I almost went to jail that night when my father died. It was that night that I was like, okay, maybe I need to rethink this. Like I don't have to do the church, but I have the faith and the belief. And I mean, I had a mental breakdown right there in the ICU. We made the decision. He was declined into he was in a coma and just so bad that we couldn't do it anymore. Up here, I couldn't process because my heart down here is like, nuh-uh, I'm not getting rid of Dad. Because anytime I ever got in trouble, who's the first person that was there every time? Dad. And so the nurse forgot to silence the EKG. And so I heard, oops. I flipped shit. And I literally started fighting my mom, fighting my brother, fighting my soon-to-be sister-in-law. I face planted a nurse into the floor because they were trying to subdue me with, like, we
called it booty juice in the wacky unit.
Yeah. Well, they tried to hit me, and they tried to ambush me in the back and hit me in the shoulder with it to get me down quicker. And as soon as I seen an arm coming up, a shadow of her trying to get behind me, I just turned around and put her on the floor, and I was literally bear hugging the mess out.
Where with it when you start getting hostile, but goes in the butt or in.
So, anyways, I'm sitting here literally yoinking out this little female nurse, and my sister-in-law's crying in the corner. My brother is at complete aghast. My mother's trying to plead with me to stop, and the security guys were like, "We can't control this guy. He's like a 6-foot giant. Like, none of us are capable of dealing with him." Then this is what happened. I felt a hand touch my shoulder. There was nobody behind me, and I felt a hand touch my shoulder. And then I heard a voice that I had not heard since I was an infant. Andy, stop. I'm here. I'm still here with you. I'll still be here to guide you. Let her go. You're about to do something you cannot walk back from. She was on the verge of going out. She was turning purple, and I had her locked. At the same time, as soon as I let her go and I fell over, started crying, Here comes Lee County Fort Myers Sheriff's Department SWAT team storming the hospital to either tase or put me down because I was completely out of control.
Yeah.
So Dad's literally telling me he's laying over there with the EKG still going off, but he's already grabbing me on the shoulder like, stop. That's when I was like, okay, I don't have to do the church, but that literally reinforced my belief.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, okay, this may actually work. I'm not going to go to church, but at least I can at least say, okay, I had the experience that the one person that I could always talk to and trust just literally told me and saved my life, even though he's over there. So it was he saved my life, kept me out of, well, I still had to go to jail for that night, but once they realized what had happened and they were like, all right, well, we'll just keep you here overnight to let you mellow out a little bit. And yeah, as soon as I let the girl go and started bawling in the corner crying, I could hear the boots. They all turned the corner. All of them had tasers ready, and they're like, didn't you guys just call because you had somebody trying to kill a nurse? They're all looking like, what just happened? And they said, well, that's him. We don't know what just happened to him, but he just suddenly stopped, let everybody go, and just balled up in the corner crying. And they're like,
that's what grief will do to you. It's a nasty creature.
And the rest of the staff were just like, we don't know. And so Sergeant came and got me, and I told him what had happened. He's like, yeah, you lucky there, because we were coming in force.
Sometimes it takes a traumatic event to
reason with you. Mm-hmm.
Do you remember
drive the point home that maybe it's time that you rethink what you were about to embark on?
Mm-hmm. It was always Dad. Mom never got involved whenever I got in trouble. She'd always turn to Dad, and Dad would be the one there, and he was either restructure me, guide me, or kick my ass because I really fucked up.
Yeah. But do you remember the comedian Vic Dunlop?
That name sounds familiar, but I can't really establish a memory.
Well, it might not have been Vic. Anyway, I think the guy that I'm thinking of also went by Eggman. But he was talking about, he started off routine one year. 13 years of Catholic school. 13 years! My parents sent me an extra year just to piss me off.
I used to hate Catholic school. Oh my God. Especially Wednesdays and Sundays. You just sit there, these stupid little paper books about all the different little stories of what happened in the Bible. We had to color them and talk. I was like, where's my Nintendo? It's like, when can we leave? I am so done with this.
Wait, you had pictures and stuff? Ours was just bland ass words.
Well, I mean, I was like 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, so it was basically Bible school for kids.
Yeah.
I usually wound up drawing little airplanes and G.I. Joes and stuff all going all around the pictures. And teacher looks at my book one day and says, there's something up with this boy. Like, how do you take a picture of Mary and Joseph around Christmas, and he's drawing airplanes dropping bombs and soldiers running around all around the nativities?
Because he actually knows the history of the Middle East.
That, please.
It's because you're trying to save baby Jesus from the evil forces of Cobra.
I shouldn't be laughing, but I am.
I never thought of it that way, but yeah, that's a good one there.
Yeah, I just want to pop back in real quick to say bye. They're getting ready to wrap up for the night due to the rain finally. So I'm going to have a bunch of paperwork to sign, and then I am getting the hell off this road. So
I don't blame you. Thank you for checking in. And
yeah, drive safely.
Yep.
No, Amy's doing the radar waves. She got the radar dishes going.
It's the light bulb. It's the light bulb.
I thought that was Beauty Queen Ray.
Saving,
and
saving baby Jesus from the forces of Cobra.
Slim, I'm
I
sorry
am
you
stealing-
showed
I
up
am
just in
stealing-
time
I'm
for the cat
stealing-
book, but
I am stealing that. I am so stealing that. I'm gonna get on Facebook here tomorrow. I'm just gonna write a post. So some dude told me this story about it. The pictures I used to draw in my Bible school books. He says, "Oh, I'm just saving baby Jesus from the evil Cobra." Watch, Chris. Watch. You'll see it pop up on my timeline tomorrow.
I'm sure.
oh hell yeah! Ah.
I couldn't resist. I'm like, I gotta say it.
Like,
As soon as I thought it, I'm like, I gotta say it.
My teachers looked at me. Oh, God forbid. I had the same teacher for 2nd and 4th grade. You should have seen the look on her face when I walked in that door for 4th grade. Because me and my friends in 2nd grade, we were total tyrants to her. She looks at me and she looks at Peter. She looks at Tom and she looks at Daniel. Shut up. Go find your desks and don't say a word to me because I already do not like the fact you 4 are on my roster again this year.
oh shit, she already had it out for y'all.
Oh, it gets better. 18 years later, she's working with my mom at Fayette County Middle School. And mom says, guess who's in the classroom next to me? I was like, who? She brought me over there one day. She said, "Here, come with me. I want to show you something. Guess who's in the classroom next to me?" I walk in the door. She looks at me. I look at her. And she just goes, Mom. I'm going to say mom because I'm not going to say my mom's name. She's like, "Mom, why did you bring that tyrant back in my classroom for a 3rd time?" And mom says, "Was he really that bad? You have no fucking idea."
Wow.
Oh Lord.
That's great.
So speaking of G.I. Joe, any word on those Last Man Standing action figures with Boo's action grip? What? There it is.
Dan says I resemble that remark.
No. He's talking about the night that everything, all the stars aligned and everything, and I managed to make the koozie disappear, and it looked like I was drinking out of a TARDIS.
Nice.
Oh Lord.
If this was a green room, that would definitely make a hashtag.
Oh,
Saving baby Jesus from the evil courses of Cobra.
it might yet. Who knows?
Hey, did y'all hear Toys R Us is coming back?
Really?
Yeah, I had.
I look, I'm literally praying to Jesus on this that they don't go right back to PlayStation, Xbox, and Leapfrog for the entire store. I was devastated when I finally got a chance to go back to Toys R Us looking for something specific, and all I see is video games and Leapfrog crap. And I was like, come on now.
The actual brick and mortar stores in addition to the online? Or?
They are going to bring back select areas of actual stores.
Wow.
I said, I pray they go back to their core where you had all the Lionel trains and models and bicycles. Do you guys remember the 21st Century Toys, the Ultimate Soldier? You ever see those?
Nope.
I remember Captain Power.
What was the name of those?
Did you ever go into a Toys R Us and see like here, turn my camera, or actually I'm just gonna pick this model up.
Sadly, I was
Stuff like this.
in my 20s before I ever went to a Toys R Us.
Stuff like this.
I was in my 30s.
This was
I
21st
was
Century
young
Toys.
enough.
Oh, I tried before the store local to me down in Clayton County closed up. I tried so hard with that manager to get that little bird they had, which is the same series as this helicopter. Yes, it's missing a rotor blade because it literally sits up on the wall.
Yeah.
Dude, I love these things.
Yep.
Ooh,
I'm
how's
dating
Dusty?
myself, but that reminds me of the helicopter from 245 Roberts.
Ooh.
Show off your copter time.
Yeah,
My wife bought this for me.
a Huey Cobra.
That's a 3-foot long Cobra gunship.
Wow.
Oh, I need to actually dust that and
I
clean
need
it
to
up.
do mine too.
It's
Yeah,
been
they
sitting
were.
on it's been sitting on a shelf for years, and
Do you remember the aircraft carrier, the USS Flag for GI Joe?
I
oh,
had one. I had one, and every kid in my neighborhood was jealous. Like they almost be wanting to fight me. I want to borrow the carrier. Come on, let me borrow the carrier, Andy. Come on, give me the carrier, or I'm gonna kick your ass across your own backyard.
Do you remember the Cobras actually had the A-10 Warthog? I think they were called the Rattlers.
Yeah, the Rattlers. Yeah, I didn't
now
understand why GI Joe didn't have the A10 and Cobra got the A10, but GI Joe got the.
F-14 Tomcat.
I had that thing. Remember that big,
Yep.
huge F-14 that you could
Mm-hmm.
had that lever on the back, and it would do the wings and everything.
Yep. You could
I
sweep
had
them
that
back
thing.
and put them in.
Hmm
now
Then
there
there
was
was
a kid,
Ertl Force One diecast series.
Mm.
Big, like not so big, but probably about yay
Mhm.
big diecast planes that had little plastic missiles you could reconfigure in different ways.
there was a
Yep.
kid that lived near my grandmother that had the 3 foot long Seaview model from Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea,
Nice.
and the little flying sub that would drop out of it at the press of a switch.
Hmm
Oh God! He also had the GI Joe Mercury space capsule.
Wait, GI Joe space? What? When did they ever have? I don't remember a space capsule.
This was back when GI Joe was actually a foot tall.
Mm.
Mm.
We're talking back in the '60s.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that thing was deluxe. Um, Parts of my childhood were really they would be incomprehensible to a modern child
Right.
I
because
wish.
video games had not been invented.
Mm.
And you wanted to play, if you didn't have the right toys, you had to make them.
Yeah.
Right.
There was one time when
We
my
had a little
parents
private
had taken
BMX
us
track
off
in my
to
backyard.
a camping trip. We were at some state park somewhere, and the kid in the next cabin and I got together and we were just running around doing Flash Gordon stuff basically, and we both had these
Mm.
the little torpedo things that you would throw and it would set off a like a cap gun cap.
Mhm.
So I had the bright idea to take the metal part out, so it was just a
Mhm.
hollow tube, and put a felt tip pin into it and turn it upside down and turn it into a ray gun. And I did that for both of us. We were running around playing, basically Flash Gordon, um, Buck Rogers, and his
Buck Rogers.
his dad came walking up. He
Mhm.
goes, "What have you got there? I've never seen anything like that before." And I proudly showed off the fact that I had made this out of a felt tip pin
Mhm.
and something that popped caps when you threw it. He goes, "That is the most brilliant thing I've ever seen a child do." But basically, he was implying that I had a future in building props for TV
Mhm.
shows and movies and things, which is yeah, I have done a few things, but not for anything like that. Um, Stephanie Osborne asked me one time, could I build her a steampunk ray gun? And I did.
Mhm.
The answer is yes.
I did, and I said, "Look, I may not ever be able to do anything like this again because I've got a limited number of pieces of junk here that I can put together."
Mhm.
And I had taken apart all kinds of electronic gear from the factory, burned out transformers and switch boxes and
Mm-hmm.
um, bits like that. So I made her a deluxe ray gun
Mhm.
that was actually sized for her because she's a very tall lady, and yeah, I wonder if I can actually find that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Da.
I wish I had a Battlestar Galactica replica to play with
Hmm.
back in the day.
There's so many things I miss from my childhood.
Oh yeah.
We were one of the only houses in the neighborhood that had cable TV.
Mhm.
So naturally, being born a day after MTV, that's what I grew up to.
Mhm.
Me and my brother, Dad would literally tell us, "All right, duke it out. Whoever wins gets TV." And I'd always literally practically murder my brother. So I always got to watch MTV. He'd walk in there, "I want to watch Sesame Street." "Well, I'm watching MTV. Too bad. Take a hike. Go outside."
Mhm.
But eventually I started playing fair and I'd let him watch his stuff. Dire Straits, Money for Nothing. I grew up to that song.
I
We
wouldn't
had a
know.
yard. You remember how yards used to be like 2, 3, 4 acres?
Mhm.
Yeah.
We had one of the largest lots in the neighborhood, and it had all, like pine trees and everything, whatnot scattered about. Well, Dad went out there with us, and this took us about 3 or 4 months to build this, but we had literally a private neighborhood BMX bike track in our backyard.
Nice.
And
You remember the movie Red?
Yeah.
Red? Like Bruce Willis? Rad.
With the BMX bikes?
No, Red with Bruce Willis is what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Well, this was a movie from the early 80s. It was BMX focused. You might want to check that out sometime.
I will. I've been on this nostalgia binge. Like I'm watching Home Improvement again from 1 to whatever. I literally just finished the entire TNG series. I'm working on Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah. The original or the remake?
No, the original.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm watching TNG and DS9 simultaneously. I'll watch one, then I'll watch the next episode, then I go back. I'll have to check that one out. What's the name of that again?
Rad.
Red
Yeah,
or
Rad.
Rad?
RAD.
Okay, so like radiation. Rad. Okay.
Yeah. Or radical, dude.
Okay, I don't know if Dan or Chris knows this, but Wacky referred to a werewolf on Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, the TV series.
Yes.
Okay, I don't
Like
remember.
this nostalgia binge.
I don't remember that. Do you remember that?
Yeah. All right. Now let's see if I can.
Yeah, Rad was the BMX bike that you pedal movie. And there was another one that was kind of motocross that was pretty good. I can't think of it at the moment.
You just said radical dude. Hold on, let me find it. Guess what I picked up at Walmart the other day? Where did I put it?
Radical.
All right.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
Mm-mm.
Oh, it's time to say goodnight, Gracie.
Yeah, well, we've already run 4 minutes over. We can run a couple more, but this is what I made for Stephanie.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
I need that. Make another one.
I can't.
He doesn't
I
have the
don't.
parts for it.
I don't have the parts anymore. I made one about half that size for my wife, and that took all the rest of the parts that I had
Yeah.
available. But basically, the stock is hand carved. Um, the trigger guard is actually in the mythos.
Hmm.
It's electromagnetic. You put your finger inside, and the safety is off.
Mm.
Hmm.
And you touch the back of the trigger guard. There is no trigger. It's all electronic,
Hmm.
and it fires. What it does is it takes water from a external tank here, runs it through some very high powered, um, basically heaters
Hmm.
with Tesla turbines, runs it back and forth, and then back up here at the top, it runs it through another Tesla turbine and which turns it into plasma, which ignites as it comes out of the barrel, and it's a 50 caliber. So
I need one of those.
it shoots balls of plasma with a 100-yard range that is basically the temperature of the surface of the sun after it leaves the barrel, and
Nice.
it pops out at 50 caliber and then expands to the size of a softball.
Nice. Here's what
Um,
I found the other day at Walmart.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
All three movies, all three of the original
Yeah.
movies.
The originals, yes.
Pizza
No.
Dude's got 30 seconds.
Yeah,
We're
but
at that age.
what you do, Slim, is really good. I really appreciate. Oh, I did watch the one you put up last night, the coming attractions short. If that's going to be another part of your repertoire, I'm looking forward to it because Wacky World Lounge is like Rob does these deep dives into various old sci-fi, fantasy, horror movies,
Mhm.
and pretty much um, brings them back to life through his interpretation of and his memories of what they were when he first encountered them, and then he'll also put in vintage commercials from 50s and 60s TV
Mhm.
for all the toys that I grew up with. Uh, Major Matt Mason and the actual helmet, the spacesuit helmet you could wear to play with the I can't remember the name of the actual toy thing, but and if I could get him and Skunk together,
Mhm.
I mean that would be a conversation worth sitting back and just enjoying the hell out of, because Skunk is as fanatic about horror movies
Mm.
as Rob is about the sci-fi and from the same era sort of thing, and
Mhm.
it would be awesome to get those two together and just be a fly on the wall. Um,
So
if you
like
were to
you and me
record it,
talking
it would
about
be
music,
it would be nostalgia gold. Um,
sort of like you and me talking about music.
exactly. Yes. There's no way to really categorize it or explain it. You just have to experience it. Look up his channel on YouTube. You'll be pleased and excited and spend hours watching everything he's done. He does great movie reviews. Really, really. Okay.
I'm
We
waiting
have
on
gone.
Fallout to release.
Yeah.
We have
TV
gone
series
over
Fallout.
the 2 hour mark, so
Yeah.
it's time for the bedtime story.
Yep.
Uh, so thank you very much for being here, folks, and thank everybody in the audience that's been watching it. Thank everybody that's going to be watching on the replay, especially Carl. And we will see you Thursday and
Go good, guys.
do it all over again.
Yep.
So,
Night, everyone.
Night,
good
y'all.
night, everybody.
Go good, guys.
Transmission overload. System will shut down. 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 System will shut down.